Hello! Jess here from All the Sparkle with a Rainbow Bright card to celebrate the start of Stamptember. Stamptember is a huge month-long event hosted by Simon Says Stamp, and all through September there will be exclusive releases, limited edition collaboration stamp sets and kits, giveaways, blog hops, and more. My birthday also falls in September, so I always feel like Stamptember is an extra special birthday gift to me, and I'm so excited to start sharing my creations with you. So let's get started. First, I laid the Grid Play Grid rubber cling stamp in the Tim Holtz stamp platform and closed the lid to adhere it to the lid of the platform. Then I stuck a piece of distressed watercolor paper in the platform and secured it in place with the magnets. I love my MISTI, but I do find the stamp platform to be very useful for large cling stamps. I kept misplacing the foam mat of my MISTI, and this way I can keep my MISTI solely for my clear stamps and the stamp platform for my rubber clings. I prepped the watercolor paper with my powder tool, and then inked only part of the stamp with VersaMark and stamped it on the watercolor paper. I removed the paper and heat embossed it with white embossing powder. Next, I used painter's tape to adhere the watercolor paper to a cutting board for watercoloring. I smushed picked raspberry, festive berries, ripe persimmon, squeezed lemonade, twisted citron, salty ocean, and seedless preserves distressing onto my craft mat, and then wet my watercolor paper with clean water. I used a damp paintbrush to add each color to the wet paper, which helped the colors blend where they met. But I cleaned my brush between each color so that I got a distinct rainbow and kept it nice and bright. I dried it with my heat gun and then added a second layer of color. I used lots of water to keep the distress ink moving and to avoid harsh lines, and I also used a paper towel to blot up any excess watercolor as I worked. Once it was totally dry, I put it in a scrap box and used my black soot Reinker and an acrylic block to flick black splatters across my rainbow. I trimmed it down to 4 by 5 1/4 and adhered it to a white top-folding A2 card base. I stamped the sentiment from the Stamptember set together onto black cardstock with VersaMark and heat embossed it with white embossing powder before trimming it down to a label. I placed a layer of foam tape behind the sentiment and then added a tangle of metallic silver thread. I added one more layer of foam tape and then adhered the sentiment to the front of the card. Finally, I added a handful of sparkling clear sequins and a few drops of tonic crystal glaze for a little sparkle and shine. And that's it for today. Make sure to head over to Simon Says Stamp to see the full Stamptember release and watch for special releases and giveaways all month long. You can find links to my blog and all of the products I used in the YouTube description below. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, have a fantastic day, and happy crafting! Bye!